Hello and welcome to another round. This is round four, another match in round four of the Azvaldt short-term tourney for the week starting January 13th in the FTF server, and this is going to be between Shuuka and Gahara, which will be a matchup of Spell Boost Rune and Arm Dragon from Shuuka against Gahara's Shadow List. I think he requested to change it and discard dragon. We'll see if that went through because yeah, but alright, so this is Shuuka will go first with a reasonable curve, keeping Draconier and Lance Lizard and getting a Metatron. And Gahara has two Sea Loans going second, which is pretty good. Oh, and she draws the Hammer Dragon Nuke. That's 4 arm cards in hand already. Basically, one of these weapons can be picked up by Metatron. That's a pretty strong curve. Pretty strong curve. Like to see the Metatron get thrown out this turn, actually. Yeah, but Draconier is the more intuitive play. The idea behind playing Metatron that turn would be to just make it make it so that Dragonutes might lose a hit on a 50-50. Here in this situation, Dragonutes might always hit the target, so it's a little better. Oh, but Gahara is going for the Nomadic Conductor, pitching Dragonutes might. That is really greedy and quite punishable. I think one line from Shuuka would be to put the Draconic Weapon on Lance Lizard. Oh no! I think I would have liked Draconic Weapon, Lance Lizard, Draconic Weapon, Adherent, and that's just like the most aggressive line that Shuuka could take. It'd be very hard for Gahara to deal with that on this turn. Yeah, Shuuka has gone for a more slower of a line, but in an aggro deck, I think you kind of want to just go out full speed, especially with the knowledge that Gahara is down one. Dragonutes might. It's a little harder for Gahara to answer anything. It's just a wide board from Shuuka. So yeah, but we do see Gilnelis in Gahara's hand drawn the previous turn actually, which is gonna help reduce some of this damage. So Shuuka might face some difficulty if she doesn't do enough damage fast enough. Gahara this turn looking like a Nomadic Conductor again. Nomadic Conductor, and what can he find? There is no Norm Blanc pitch to... Well, I mean, there's a Norm Blanc in hand, but pitching that won't help him clear anything. If he gets an Augite Worm, doesn't really help. There's no one play point. So he actually just chills. I don't know if I like that. I think Nomadic Conductor is a little better, and then... Oh, Shuuka draws the Draconic Armor, but does not have an Arm Follower in hand. That means that it will not search her deck for an Arm Follower. So I think she should use the Drizail here to try to draw in her deck for an Arm Follower. Would have probably led off the turn with the Drizail. But Drizail is the play, and Draconic Armor is still not glowing. That means Shuuka has not drawn an Arm Follower. Oh no, that is really bad. Okay, so Shuuka chooses to buff her Lance Lizard, but there is a case here for buffing Metatron, and the argument is just that with 6 defense on Metatron, it is really hard for Gahara to get through that with the Sealone. Sealone hits 2 targets for 5 damage. Alright, and so we're gonna see a Sealone here. Tidal Tyranny hits the Dragon Breeder. That is really good for Shuuka. Hopefully she draws into an Arm Follower. Okay, Freya is an Arm Follower, so that is pretty good. How is she going to sequence this though? She trades the Hammer Dragon. This is a lot of trading for an aggro deck. Freya with no weapon. Okay, the Draconier is gonna be a pretty good way to remove the... I guess she's holding onto these weapons for the possibility of using them on Forte. Forte can be pretty difficult for discard to remove. Wait, Shuuka, wait, no, play the armor! Oh no. What's she planning? I wonder. Because now the armor is stuck in her hand again. Yeah, that is definitely a bit of a missequence there. Shuuka is gonna miss out on finding an arm follower. That is not good. And using the Draconic Smash, which arguably not necessary. Yeah, so that's just 5 weapons in Shuuka's hand though. So I guess that's pretty menacing. Arm followers leaving play is 3, so Shuuka's arm count will be there. But Gahara has 2 Gilnelis in hand and is going to use one this turn, so it looks like there's a very good chance that Shuuka runs out of steam with that Draconic Armor play from the previous turn. Gahara going to choose not to ramp this turn, which, interesting. And wins the 50-50 with the Dragon Newt's Might. That's pretty big. Although, could be full cleared either way. No, he does not have another Evo this turn, so that was not a guaranteed clear without that 50-50. Might have been a better sequence for that. Probably should have gone with that first. Yeah, because then depending on what target the Dragon Newt's Might hits, he can kind of control his clear. But draws a Drizzale for the turn. Oh, wow. So Shuuka does find Forte here. It kind of is the card in her deck that she's been setting up this whole time. But is it going to be enough? Forte recovers 2 play points. Another slight inaccuracy there. Should have traded the Freya first. So the random destroy hits Noram Blanc. Unless she wanted to hit Noram Blanc, which is okay. But I don't think she can afford to leave Nomadic Conductor. But this is going to be answered basically by Drizzale. So this game looks like it's going to be over. Because unless Shuuka then rips a Levitane Dragon off the top of her deck, she's just out of place. Wait. Gahara needs to play this Drizzale. Absolutely needs to play the Drizzale here. I don't think there's a line that does not... It's really risky to not play Drizzale here. Okay, there we go. Drizzale is going to bump Forte down to a very low amount of damage. I don't know if the pre-evo here is necessary. Blast Form is like not lethal here. I don't actually like this pre-evo with a Gilnelis in hand, to be honest. But it's probably not going to matter too much at this point. So Adherent number 1 here from Shuuka. Adherent number... Shuuka pretty much just has 2 adherents here, and I guess she's hoping for like another Forte or a Levitane Dragon, because there is not much else she could do here. And in fact, Gahara might just have lethal with the Lumior in hand. But yeah, like this pre-evo on Drizzale is really not doing much, so I don't know. Okay, Uranus, Phylene. Okay, double Dragon Oracle into Sealong is pretty good here though. I like that. Yeah, that's probably the play here for Gahara. There's still not really a lot of pressure to get rid of this Forte. And just Sealong's healing is going to be very nice. Tidal Tyranny hits the Forte, which is losing a 1 in 3. A bit unfortunate, but still, Drizzale is an almost insurmountable target for the... Oh, wait. This is a card that can punch through Drizzale, I think. Iron Sail Serpent Drake. I think Shuuka has to trade in the... Does she have to trade in the thing first? No, it's okay. It doesn't matter how many buffs there are. Yeah, but Irisco Serpent Trait gets through the Drizzle here, which means Shuuka can in fact. Oh, wait, she's gonna choose to trade off Forte. That's interesting because I mean, I don't know how she wins from here. Defense form Levitain, I guess, is her out. But Gahara has not hit 4 discards yet, so Lumior in his hand is not active. Gonna use Nomadic Conductor to set up Lumior. Okay, now we have Lumior into Argenta. Probably pitching the Phylene? Okay, pitching the Uranus is better than pitching the Phylene for sure. Okay, now this is gonna be Argenta pitching the Norum Blanc and likely the other Argenta, I think. I think pitching the other Argenta is the play here. Oh, pitching another Uranus, wow. I mean, I think Uranus is actually good here, but it's not gonna matter. I don't think there's... Okay, defense form, Levitain might do it. Yeah, there's just no way here for Shuuka to... Oh, wait. Forte? Forte's first effect is the play point refund, I believe. So that is not gonna do it. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a bit costly with the draconic armor play there, and Gahara is just gonna be able to hit face here. There's no board clear. And that is gonna be game 1 to Gahara. And I wonder if the shadow deck is still the same. If it is, that's still gonna be a bit of a struggle because this shadow deck is interesting. Alrighty. Gahara with the go first. And this is the Burial Rite Zerael deck, which yeah, I've actually been playing some Burial Rite, but the is definitely more about trying to like set up a late game win than trying to cheese out a Zerael. But against spell boost, this might be possible. Trying to remember exactly what Zerael does. It's a reanimate Zerael deck. So Zerael might be okay at a spell boost because he actually can't be like damaged by effects. He can only be damaged by trading, and that's not something spell boost does very well. But pretty hard to get him out in time. And Shuuka's hand has a Seamile and a Chakram Wizard and Angel's Blessing going second. That is a lot of power. Probably Insight this turn is fine to draw into something that she wants to pitch to the story of a lifetime. Definitely a good turn to just Insight here. Sometimes you want to wait a turn to Insight in a situation like this to try to get better cards to spell boost with the Insight, but in this case, it's definitely okay to just slam Insight. Yeah. Found a Mari for the turn. That's all. That's a little slow, but it'll be okay. Turn 2 Ghost Town for Gahara. Definitely a bit of a tempo slow hand for both players, but slow hands for both players, but very much still a game here. Oh, Shuuka is gonna choose something with the story of a lifetime. Probably the Greater Will? Greater Will was probably an okay play that turn as well, but yeah. Trying to just get her game going as quickly as possible. Hugin and Moonin out here for Gahara. Wonder how Shuuka is going to do this turn. Meltina looks like a... With 2 Meltina in hand, playing 1 Meltina here, it looks pretty good, but it makes her hand size a little too big, so I think Magic Missile is still the better line. Magic Missile on Ghost Hound, in Ghost Town. The reasoning just because if Shuuka Meltina is here, Chakram goes to 2, but her hand size goes to 8, so it's at 9 at the start of the next turn, which makes it really hard to Angel's Blessing. The other card that's a possibility is to play Mari here. Okay. Meltina is picked for the turn, and Shuuka is going to have to take a little bit of overdraw next turn, so yeah, I don't really like that much. Would have preferred either Mari or Magic Missile just to make the initial Angel's Blessing a little more consistent. Overdrawing when you don't have to can kind of be bad, so... Alright, and Gahara has gone and used Corral Souls on one of the Hugin and Moonins and traded in the other one for card draw. Needs to find a Sharon at some point. That is going to be how he cheats out his Zerail. Holding on to all these Bureau Right cards for a card draw later down the line, it seems. Angel's Blessing for Shuuka mills a Magic Missile, so not punished. Most likely going to go Mari into Magic Missile into Chakram here. I think that's the best sequence. Mari is going to find a spell boost card, hoping for Raining Blades. Magic Missile on face here in order to Chakram. Okay, and now Shuuka has 6 plus 8 damage in hand. That is 14, 16 with an Evo, and then Uranus can add another 3, so Shuuka's technically has lethal as soon as Uranus is active with his hand. So as long as, but Gahara does have healing, so it's not just that easy, right? Buries another Zerail. Gahara is on the search for... Ooh, uses Spirit Invasion here in order to go face. Okay, and then draws 2 with Warden of the Corpses at end of turn, leaving up the Chakram Wizard. Wait, that might cost him the game here. Okay, so because Chakram 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spell boosts I count at least. Oh, but the Uranus doesn't have a target. Uranus does not need a target. This is really close to game, and I think Shuuka is counting her damage. Crushing Rain into Meltina. Into Insight Chakram. Crushing Rain. Insight Chakram draws another Chakram. Crushing Rain. Crushing Rain. Semael is... That's just lethal. No Chakram needed, yeah. That leaving up that Chakram Wizard was a really bold line from Gahara that kind of got punished. That's a turn 5 lethal. With the triple Crushing Rain, double Semael hand. A very explosive draw from Shuuka. And we're going to move on to game 3 of this match between... And it's going to be a game between Armed Dragon and Reanimate Zerail. So... pretty crazy matchup, but... This, there's not a lot of control tools aside from the Sweet Soul Necromancers in Gahara's deck, so definitely going to be a bit of a struggle for him. The Deathcat Reapers could do some work. Oh, looks like we have to wait for a bit here. Little bit of a wait. I don't think it's my internet. Let me make sure that my internet isn't dying. Okay, game 3 is now starting. Maybe one of the players had to take a bit of a short break. Okay, so Armed Dragon against Burial Rite Reanimate. Or specifically, Zerail Reanimate. This is not a great hand from Shuuka, so probably going to be a full toss for Gahara. Probably also Lehuga and Munin going second might be a bit slow. Keeping the From the Dust Reborn, that is pretty greedy with no 1 or 2 drop to reanimate with it. What is Shuuka's hand? Shuuka has a hand with Draconic Armor and no Arm Followers. That's really awkward. Probably just don't play it though. You really need that card to find a Arm Follower, so yeah, just chill here is fine. Definitely just chill here. She is playing the Iron Scale, so she might be tempted to play it to generate the weapon for Iron Scale, but it's just too is really just too low value to not find an Arm Follower off the Draconic Armor. So no, don't. Oh no, she plays it. She really wants to get that weapon going, but not getting the Arm Follower is so awkward. Because that also, like, when you play that, that also tells your opponent that you currently don't have an Arm Follower in play, in hand, right? So, yeah, and another Draconic Armor in hand for Shuuka. That is not ideal. Probably. Oh, she's gonna commit the armor for Metatron. I don't know how useful 1 extra point of defense is on Metatron here. In fact, gonna get killed out by the Death Cat Reaper. Okay, let's hope Shuuka gets an Arm Follower in hand. Oh, finally, she draws an Arm Follower. Now Draconic Armor is going to be able to draw a follower for her. It's probably the play for the turn. Plays Metatron. Okay, but surely we also play the armor. Draws the Hammer Dragon Newt. That's probably it. Yep. Next turn, she will be able to play the Bad Kappa, so to buff Metatron. So not the worst. Not the worst. Possible recovery here. Dragon Breeder, an interesting draw. Could, but I think it's okay. I think it's Draconic Weapon into Babkatha for the card draw. Yeah, it's gonna buff Metatron. It draws into Adherent of Ardor, which is unfortunate because he would use the Draconic Weapon a little better. Shuuka now is at 3 Arm Followers, so still a bit slow on the curve. Yeah, I'm really feeling the effects of not getting that Arm Follower off the Draconic Armor. Gahara going to trade in a Hugin and Munin. Then probably play the Death Cat Reaper here. Has the Metatron in hand already? I'm not quite sure. Okay, so trying to get the Mino active, but that's not really gonna happen here. So I'm not sure about those trades. That was a little bizarre. Maybe Shadow Count for Spirit Invasion, but definitely not in a hurry to use Spirit Invasion here. Call of the Great Arm? The Zerail, I suppose. And now from the... should be from the... Whoa, playing a Mino here. That is interesting. I think, because at 2, you can get Death Cat Reaper, and then both the Minos are buffed the next turn. So I feel like that would have been the better line. Shuuka now does draw Iron Scale Serpent Drake. That is, with a Dragon Breeder in hand, that is pretty strong. Gonna be able to go Draconic Weapon into Iron Scale Serpent Drake, then Dragon Breeder one of these Iron Scale Serpent Drakes to make another one. Yeah, that's pretty strong. So trade the 3/3 and then buff the 3/2 with the Dragon Breeder. Alright. but I think that is going to be Gahara's 5th last words. So Hyugen and Munin and Mino are both active now. It is going to be, yeah, it's going to be tough for Shuuka to have a board at this point. But, oh, okay. Another interesting line here. Most likely going to be trade into Corral Souls, I think? Yeah. Trying to draw for that Sharon card that Gahara needs to pull off the combo in this deck. But still no Sharon to be seen. Draconeer off the top for Shuuka, but she can just use Levitain for Blast Form here. Draconeer, unfortunately, not an ideal follow-up here, but does recover an Evo point, and so it is better for Shuuka to use an Evo point here in order to make her future Babkathas better. Alrighty, and now Blast Form is going to blast for 7, and Shuuka is just going to be playing off the top of her deck. Does have 2 damage in the form of the Adherent of Ardor, at least. So that is pretty nice. Shuuka definitely needs to draw into something, though. Looks like a Warden of Corpses is going to be able to bury Zerail and Mino, probably. Oh, just a Zerail. It's Burial Right 1. And then Spirit Invasion Deathcat Reaper looks like the line that Gahara wants to take after this. Yeah. Can use Deathcat Reaper on the Ghost here. Gonna destroy the Blast Form, draw 2, still not finding that ever important Sharon. And Shuuka draws an Iron Scale Serpent Drake. That's no. You don't need to play Draconic Weapon for the Serpent Drake. I mean, it's like slightly better stats, but the Serpent Drake doesn't really need the weapon, because once Serpent Drake is enhanced, it buffs itself, which means it gains like it just makes its copy on its own on enhance. But it's okay. Like, I think the line for Shuuka here is to just make the biggest board possible. So evolve the 2nd Serpent Drake is pretty good. Oh, trades the 2nd Serpent Drake. Okay, should probably use an Evo point just so that actually might have even been hold the Adherent, because if Shuuka and evolve, and because if Shuuka top deck Babkatha, then she really wants to be able to use the 3rd Evo point, and now a Babkatha top deck is not going to be that good. Another Hyugen and Munin, and I mean, Gahara can just play control this game at this point. Draws a Sweet Soul Necromancer. That into Sweet Soul Necromancer in Ghost Hound is going to be like 2 healing at least. Yep. Pitch the Mino, probably. Okay, finally draws the Sharon, so that is going to allow him to finally do his combo. Pitches the Sharon, my goodness, wait. Draws into another one, though. Okay. And then what? This Adherent is actually not that big of a deal, but, yeah, because Shuuka is still at 1 Evo point spent, I believe. So, yeah. I'm gonna evolve over the Adherent, that's fine. Gahara only needs 1 Evo point for the Sharon effect, and then Deathcat Reaper. Just trying to make a bigger board, but I don't think that's worth using the Evo. Shuuka draws Metatron for the turn. That is not gonna be very good. She is just out of cards again. Evolves Metatron. Okay, I like using the Evo point. Does that... So, trying to think of what's the out for Shuuka here. I think it's gonna be either a Levitain Dragon top deck for defense form. Oh, From the Dust Reborn is going to reanimate the Sharon. Okay, I forgot that was possible. That is gonna get out the Zerail. The Zerail is pretty strong here. I mean, Mostly on the virtue of Shuuka having no board. Okay, and another Call of the Great Arm is going to be used here. And then Mino. Okay, so yeah, Shuuka completely out of gas here. Gonna struggle. Oh, Hammer Dragon Ute is the draw for the turn. That is probably not going to be good enough. She just cannot clear enough with this card. Yeah. And that is going to be game. So the Azrael Reanimate deck that Gahara has definitely manages to close out the game with its control elements, but I think Shuka's hand was definitely a bit on the slow side. Definitely struggled to get Arm Followers out and make a presence. The Draconic Armor not getting value is really awkward. So that is going to be a 2-1 for Gahara, and that is it from me. And I hope to see everyone later.